Hello and welcome. This is Eric from AD Racing Central. Racing games, as with any genre, has its huge franchises, with AAA titles being released every now and then, with deluxe editions costing up to $100 or more. I'm not saying these games are not worth their asking price, but if you are looking for a high-quality racing game that don't break the bank, then this is the list for you. Here we have 5 quality racing titles that each cost $15 or less, even when not on sale. Let's get started. The first game might be an obvious pick, and I'm talking about the Steam-exclusive BallisticNG from developer Neognosis. Stylish, fluid, super sleek, and as long as you don't mind the retro-style graphics, anti-gravity racing doesn't get much better than this. If you haven't noticed already, BallisticNG looks a lot like the Wipeout games from the PS1 era, and also simulates the way those games felt to play, while bringing its own flair at the same time. The main event for offline play is a lengthy campaign with a great variety of tracks, event types, as well as teams and liveries to unlock, all while listening to a terrific original soundtrack, adding immensely to the game's atmosphere. Alongside the main campaign, BallisticNG also includes huge amounts of updates and free content that has been added over the years, like new game modes and teams to race with. One of them is the 2280 mode that transforms the physics of the game to be more reminiscent of the modern Wipeout games, rather than the classic ones. Considering its price of $15, BallisticNG is without a doubt one of the anti-gravity racing games that will give you the most value for your money that you can find. And keep in mind that I haven't even mentioned the endless amounts of mods the community has created. If you like sci-fi racing, but prefer 4 wheels on the ground, then the multi-platform arcade racing game Xenon Racer might be your thing. The game is yours for around $12 when not on sale, and even if Xenon Racer is an indie game that can't fully compete with other titles in the genre, you really can't argue with what you get for so little money. From a design perspective, the game really sticks out as well, as we don't get all that many racing games with futuristic cars. Xenon Racer has a gameplay mechanic loosely inspired by Formula 1 racing, where a boost meter is filled using kinetic energy gathered from drifting among other things, but at its core is a classic arcade racer. The vehicle design obviously sticks out, and a lot of effort was clearly put into making the cars feel like something we might see on a real racetrack in a not so far future. During the course of the campaign, you unlock new cars and modification parts, and even if no story or real context is offered to the racing, the unlockables that are here serve its purpose in making you want to keep grinding through the races. The game also feels good to play as the cars really have some weight to them, and perfecting your lap times does challenge your braking and drifting skills, as Xenon Racer is no walk in the park. For $12, this is a title worth checking out for people still waiting for a new Ridge Racer. Back to anti-gravity racing and the Steam-exclusive Star Racer. Do not let the simplistic look fool you, as a lot of heart and soul went into the making of this game that is yours for the incredibly low price of around $11 to $12. As you may have guessed, Star Racer's main source of inspiration is the F-Zero games from the 90s, and just as in that franchise, the pilots are just as important as the vehicles they fly. The well-designed characters alongside the vibrant color scheme really makes the game come alive, despite the very retro-inspired art style. On the track, a lot of gameplay mechanics have been retained from the F-Zero games, as you will pass over boost pads, spin attack your opponents, and fly over color parts of the track to recharge your health/boost meter, at the same time as you do your best to manage the corners without going into a drift state. Other, more unique gameplay mechanics include resource management, as captures are spent on your offensive abilities, but the more of them you possess, the faster your ship flies. Flying sections also appear every now and then, where your ship transforms into a flying craft. Star Racer has a good amount of single-player content, where you can unlock new ships and liveries, but you also get the complete track creator that will most likely severely increase the lifespan of this little hidden gem of a racing game. Go ahead and check Star Racer out on Steam, and maybe even pick it up for its very low asking price. I also have something for the fans of top-down racing games, as I want to highlight the incredibly overlooked Blazerush, available on multiple platforms. The core gameplay of this dystopian sci-fi racing game is centered around different types of racing events, ranging from regular races, King of the Hill type events, where only the leader accumulates score, all the way to my favorite one, where all races are chased by a gigantic lawnmower that destroys vehicles until only one is left on the track. You may think that it's obvious that this concept is tailored towards couch multiplayer sessions with your friends and family, where 4 players compete at the same time, and you would be right. What you may not have guessed is that Blazerush includes a lengthy single-player campaign as well. It's in the campaign where you will learn the concept of the game, including all offensive and defensive weaponry that is available for you to pick up, and it's also here where you'll unlock more playable characters and their vehicles. The design of both the characters and their rides are great, and the vehicles are divided into different classes, depending on if they traverse on wheels, treadmills, or hovering. Different vehicle classes have various strengths and weaknesses. For example, the anti-gravity vehicles accelerate much faster than other vehicles, but they are also flung much farther when hit by weapons. I've had an incredible amount of fun with this game with my friends during the times we have had the opportunity to meet up in real life, but it's worth mentioning that the online servers are shut down. However, $11 to $12 is still a steal for a game like Blazerush. And finally, we have XF Extreme Formula that just came out of early access. This F-Zero style racing game has earned the praise of anti-gravity racing fans during its long time in early access, and the final product is a great package, especially when it costs less than $15. Actually, we got much more than I personally thought we would, as the final release includes a story mode with cutscenes, dialogue options, customization, and beat 'em up and platforming sections. All these extra additions aside, XF Extreme Formula was already a terrific game to begin with. The game is incredibly fast, but it's also got super tight controls that justifies the breathtaking pace you most often find yourself in. In fact, the whole game is centered around the gimmick of go fast to go faster, as you gain boost by going fast, and the longer you boost, the stronger your next boost will be. The tracks are placed on different locations in our solar system, and both the backgrounds and track design are varied. This is definitely an indie developer you want to support if you are a fan of fast-paced racing games in general, and F-Zero in particular. Let me know in a comment if there is a cheap and awesome racing game out there that I missed, and click on this video to find even more games like XF Extreme Formula that are similar to F-Zero. Thank you for watching. I am Eric from AD Racing Central, and I'll see you in the next video.